Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku, on the BS3 network, as well as on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all those great streaming platforms. I am KG Chris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review, and welcome to Throwback Thursday on the lunch break. It's the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E. Thank you very much to AJ Jones for giving me the keys to the kingdom once again for the next 55 minutes or so to talk sports, to pat myself on the back for a moment. But yes, you are watching the lunch break, but it is courtesy of yours truly, the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku, courtesy of the BS3 network. Let's get right into it. In case you haven't heard the news about Colorado going to the Big 12, or all signs pointing to the Big 12 return, the Big 12 presidents, chancellors voted unanimously overnight to have CU return to the Big 12. If you follow yours truly on streaming platforms, on the Houston Roundball Review, if you watch folks talking sports, you heard me say on July 16th that signs pointing to Colorado returning to the Big 12. And if you missed it, here we go. Check it out right here. One of the things I heard, well, a couple of things I heard, and this is for Joe Mendez, Tony M as well, as folks watching us on Twitter and on YouTube at Houston Roundball Review. All signs point to Colorado joining the Big 12. That has not changed. I was told that weeks ago. Heard it again on Wednesday that Colorado is going to join the Big 12. Timetable could be as soon as the end of this month that Colorado will return. Well, could I say return to the Big 12? I guess you want to say, since they were part of it, before they left to go to the Pac-12. But it sounds like they will be coming back to the Big 12. And then we'll see who comes with them. That's less certain. So there it is right there, July 16th. I mentioned it with my colleague, Andy Yanez, on the episode 101 of Folks Talking Sports. It's great to be able to attend media days in person. I got the info at Big 12 Football Media Day on July 12th. Talking to people face to face, in person, not text messaging back and forth, not DMs, Twitter DMs, or X DMs, or whatever you want to call it now. Face to face, in person. And yes, a very reliable source said that Colorado was returning to the Big 12, and we would know by the end of July. Well, darn it. Looky here. The Colorado Board of Regents met Wednesday. They're going to meet again today with a public hearing to discuss, and all signs point to make it official that they are leaving the Pac-12 after this season, 23-24 season, and returning to the Big 12 officially next summer, 2024. And Pac-12 still doesn't have any media rights deal, so Colorado won't have to pay an exit fee by doing this. So happy days for everybody all around. So give me your thoughts on that. Yes, I have a bald head, but I am not AJ Jones. AJ and Adolphus Moore, I believe, are still at Houston Texans practice today. AD Moore is going to try to join me at some point during this hour of the lunch break to give me some comments on what he's seen at Texans practice. So a lot in store here on the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E. I flipped it up a little bit. I wanted to start off the show with my mug. And speaking of mug, get you a Houston Roundball Review mug. Get that merch. Click that shop button below the video posted on YouTube. Click that shop button and buy you a Houston Roundball Review mug to help keep the Roundball Review independent. That's right. I've been doing this almost 30 years independent. Some folks wonder how I do it, how I've done it for so long, 20 years, how I get inside info, sources, scoops. I've learned a lot over these 30 years. A lot of folks to thank, and I believe Mr. Moore is here. And look at it. Oh, he got the shades on and everything. Look at this. Mr. A.D. Moore, courtesy of AdMax Corner. How are you, sir?
Good. What's it? Afternoon? Is it evening? Afternoon? Hey, man. Good afternoon, folks. Hey, what's up? The lunch break. What's going on, people? Chris, how you doing, KG?
Doing great, A.D. How you doing?
We just the Texans just wrapped day 2 of the D'Amico Ryan era practice. Got one more day tomorrow. They'll be in just basically in shirts and shorts, and then they got a day off Saturday, and then Sunday the pads come out. I find that very ironic that the pads will come out on a Sunday, the Sabbath day, but they gonna have to go to work.
So I'm not sure how much of practice media can see, but what have you seen so far in these 2 days of practice at the Texans?
Well, let me. The question I posed to Coach Ryan today, because D'Amico say from day to day, if he want to just see a 1% increase from day to day, and that was the question I posed to him, and also it's been posted out there on my Twitter account, X, and also on the Facebook account. And D'Amico immediately said, because I asked him, I said, is there a difference, from what you've seen on the film and what you see with your eyes? He said, make no mistake about it. He said, there's been more progress from yesterday till today. He said, no doubt about it. He said, the offense wasn't clicking as well as they thought, but he said there was definitely significant progress made today. And I have to trust him for what he's looking at and what I'm looking at, particularly when you just walk around with no pads on. As I stated, the pads come on Sunday. The fan day is tomorrow for everybody. If you don't have your ticket, you need to go online. If they haven't got sold out all the particulars tomorrow, for his fans are invited for practice tomorrow. But tomorrow's gonna be crazy around here. So anyway, that's what it is. But D'Amico basically said that he definitely saw an improvement today from yesterday, particularly on the offensive side. I asked Malik Collins just a little bit earlier, and Malik Collins probably had the unique line of the day, because the first question I asked him, I asked him, how's it going so far? And the first words out of his mouth was, "It's hot." So,
yes, it is. It is hot. Yeah,
it's hot. And I'm one like, okay, from that, after that, everything was done, man.
Well, Mr. Moore, I'm not sure how much time I have if you're going to hang on with me through here on the lunch break. But if you don't mind, sir, I want to take a quick break. If you can hang on through the break, is that good?
Yeah, let's do that, Chris. Go ahead and get the break, come back, and if you don't mind, we can wrap this session, and I'll get moving. I hung around just after I hung around. I said, well, you said jump on. I said, well, I don't know. I had a backdrop on the Texan, but I decided to go get in the car with the air conditioner.
That was very smart, sir. All right, real quick, we'll do this about a 60-second break so folks know what we are on, the lunch break, and be right back. It's me, KG, and AD. AD's courtesy of the AdMax Corner. Be right back.
Are you looking for something to do on your lunch break? Well, there's a show on the BS3 network that has only 4 words to say to you.
We ready. We ready. We ready for y'all. We ready. We ready. We ready for y'all.
The Lunch Break with AJ, powered by JM&E. Live weekdays at noon Central.
That is correct. This is the lunch break, but it is me, KG, bringing you the Houston Roundball Review takeover of the lunch break here on Throwback Thursday, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku, AD. That's right, on Roku, on the BS3 network. If you don't have BS3, go to bs3network.com or just go to Roku. Get that app, BS3 TV. AD Moore is streaming, joining me here today on the lunch break from his ride. He just got through watching Houston Texans practice. Mr. Moore, you got it, sir.
Yeah, I mean, just to follow up and then wrap, man. And like I say, pad comes on Sunday, and that would be a totally different, I think, approach. And it's always nice to run around in t-shirts and shorts, and helmets. But once the pads come on, I think there's going to be a different flavor added to practice. And then this also will be them. They would already had their 3 days of camp, which basically is sort of like a break-in session for them, a camp is concerned, and then go into the pads, more like a conditioning. But I tell you what, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of pep they're going to have in their step probably Monday after they had their first day in practice. That's a little bit different because now you packing some additional stuff that you had heretofore hadn't had to put on, Chris. And so now, with the advent of 100+ degree and the humidity, it's going to be interesting to see how these guys react Monday. Not so much on Sunday, but Monday.
Did you get a chance to see the quarterbacks?
Yeah, I did. Chris, all of them are looking. All of them are making progress. I think obviously the CJ Stroud is probably what everybody wants to know about. CJ is, and we had in fact. Out on my Twitter page now, AD_Moore64, I asked Robert Woods, the receiver, about the type of balls that each one of these quarterbacks throw, and then from a receiver standpoint, and he spent a lot more time on CJ, and elucidated more about the type of what he needs to pick up, and so I think that was a decent perspective, at least from a receiver standpoint. And CJ Stroud's progression. So I would encourage everybody to go out there to AD_Moore64 and check out what Robert Woods had to say, not only about CJ, but about Davis Mills and about Case Keenum as well.
And I want to thank you very much for taking time to do this. AD and I have been on the road this week. Earlier in the week, we were in Arlington for the American Athletic Conference Football Media Day, and go to ESPN Plus, and you will see Mr. Moore. He's everywhere on the American Football Media Days coverage. They got pictures of him. His questions are on screen, asking FAU coach Tom Herman, Rice coach Mike Bloomgren. Who else you talked to? Who are you a star on ESPN Plus?
Trailer, the head coach at the Santa Coach. That was a nice segment. We got a chance to do a one-on-one with Jeff Traylor, the quarterback at USTA. So, hey man, it was a good time, man. I tell you what, that's gonna be a dogfight in that conference, man. I can't forget about Willie Fritz, who at Tulane, they beat USC this past season. Big win for that conference, big win for that school, and big win for the conference. And the fact that because he carried my alma mater 2 years straight to Frisco for the FCA championship at Sam Houston State University, so it was good to get a chance to talk with him. So we got a chance to particularly reacquaint ourselves with Tom Herman, who we covered. He was at UT, but he got his big break at the University of Houston here. So it was good. It was a good to just get a chance to interact with all those guys and get reacquainted with Tom himself.
It was great. It's good to be able to see people face to face and not on Zoom. Have the interaction with everyone. We learned some info off the record, of course, as well as on the record. Our interview with AC Commissioner Mike Oresco. I posted my comments, a few of his comments on my YouTube channel, on AD and Jerry Lee Willie, the Fifth World Wildcat. All three of us talked to Michael Resco, the commissioner of the American. Had a sit down with him, about a 20-minute talk. So thank you so much to
absolutely
Resco for taking time to talk with us. It's the beauty of being there face to face, AD. So
without a doubt, Chris. I mean, because the thing about it, and because this is not an easy time for a commissioner of any conferences. I mean, obviously you talking about. You look at the SEC. You got the Big Ten, but the Pac-12. Will it implode with UCLA and SC moving to the Big Ten? As it stands, I don't know if you got
and
word
Colorado
yet,
going to the Big 12, like I said 2 weeks ago. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Let's go. You might as well go ahead and put it out there, Chris, because you were on top of that. What really not 2 weeks ago, probably more than 2 weeks ago, because you had up some certain information.
I meant it a while ago.
Yeah,
I heard it again on July 12th at Big 12 Football Media Day. That's when it really got hammered home to me that it's going to happen by the end of this month. So
right. But anyway, man, like I said, another good hot day of practice for the Texans. They're done for the day, and likewise, I'm done, player. So hey, man, I appreciate you taking allowing me to jump on and as you take over the lunch break. And hey, man, everybody out there, have a good time. Don't forget the BS3 network on Roku and don't forget my particular channel, the AdMax Corner YouTube channel, the Houston Roundball YouTube channel, and all the other media sources that we're adding. In fact, my Instagram, probably by tomorrow, maybe probably sometime tomorrow, my Instagram and thread will probably be added to the Instagram account. So, I'm getting drugged right on down all the social media networks now, Chris.
Welcome to it, man. I finally figured out what was causing my issue to not create a Folks Talking Sports thread. I kind of got that done Wednesday morning, like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
So I got Folks Talking Sports on Instagram and on Threads. So a lot of different ways for fans to follow us and get content, not just basketball. So sports on FTS. Brother Moore, thank you very much, man. You gonna have a show this Sunday?
If Sunday, if not, thing about it, if not Sunday, Saturday, one of the two. I'm got some content, working on some things right now, but it'll be an announcement out there, Chris.
All right, and that's AD Moore, courtesy of the AdMax Corner. Catch him on YouTube as well as where on Twitter/X, sir.
X, Twitter, whatever the name of it, whatever. It might wake up tomorrow as Y, but anyway, AD_Moore 64. Go out there because content out there today from D'Amico Ryans is out there. You got Robert Woods out there. Also, you'll probably be seeing Woods' statement will be on my Facebook page as well. So that's where we are right now, Chris. And so I tell you what, continue on, have a great takeover of the lunch break. And in the meantime, I'm gonna be moseying on down the road, man.
All right, you be careful, man. Thank you very much. You take care.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, that was AD Moore from the AdMax Corner joining me here on the lunch break, the Houston Roundball Review takeover of the lunch break. This is Throwback Thursday, the lunch break powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku. Yes, that's right, on Roku, courtesy of the BS3 Network. Going to take another break and then come back. Going to mention the SWAC football announced their preseason picks, as well as AD and I touched on a little bit. The American Athletic Conference announced their preseason predictions for football. Yes, football. I do more than basketball. Been doing this a long time, folks. Sports is in my blood. Check this out from Cole Sports with the Z.
If you're looking for a sports program that gives you the flavor.
Washington Commanders? Really?
This whole thing stinks to high heaven.
That pulls no punches.
Thuggish act by a thuggish actor.
That gives you some humor.
Praise everything LeBron does and never criticize it.
If you want a show that gives you good times, then this is that show. BS3 Network proudly presents
I am Cole Johnson, and welcome to
Cole Sports with a Z. Every Friday on Patreon and every Saturday on YouTube, Spreaker, and all other outlets.
Welcome back. I'm KG Chris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review, and you're watching the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E. Taking a sip of water from my Houston Roundball Review mug. You can click on that shop button below this video if you're watching on YouTube, and purchase you a Houston Roundball Review mug. Also got t-shirts, tank tops, tote bags, as well as t-shirts for the Let's Talk Houston Rockets live stream show, as well as a brand new Folks Talking Sports mug. You can get that as well. Just follow the links, but click on that shop button first. Support the Houston Roundball Review. Let me switch it up just a bit here. Let me see if I can pull this together. Got all these different buttons and keys to the kingdom AJ's trusting me with. Let's see if I can find it. Where is it? So many things going on here on the takeover. Advertise. You can advertise here on this show on the Roundball Review Takeover of the lunch break here on Thursdays. Just reach out to me. Threads, Houston Roundball Review. Website, HoustonRoundballReview.com. Email me at kgardner@thehrr.com. Go to the website. Link to my email address is on the homepage, of course, at HoustonRoundballReview.com. But yes, big thanks to AJ for allowing me this time to spend with you this 55 minutes or so on Thursdays of Throwback Thursday on the lunch break to talk sports with the fans who are watching on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and of course, Roku, courtesy of the BS3 Network. Here we go. SWAC football had a media day on Tuesday this week. They announced the predictions, media, and I think the sports information directors and coaches had their football predictions. Check this out. In the East, FAMU. Yes, FAMU. Even with their music video struggles, and Willie Simmons, head coach, picked to win the East, first place, 16 first place votes. Second place, Jackson State. Third place, Alabama State. Fourth, Alabama A&M. Fifth, Mississippi Valley State. Last, Bethune-Cookman. In the West, SWAC West, picked first, predicted first. Southern got the most points of any of the 12 SWAC football teams, edging out FAMU by 6, 122 to 116, but FAMU got more first place votes. Second, Alcorn State. Third in the West, Texas Southern. TSU did get one first place vote. Fourth in the West, Grambling State, edging PV, Prairie A&M. PV in fifth. PV also got 2 first place votes. And sixth, Arkansas Pine Bluff. So you see that in the East, see that in the West. More content, HBCU info, great insight from my colleagues and friends, Dr. Kenyatta Cavill, Charles Bishop, Mike Washington, over at Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. That show streams on Facebook as well as on YouTube. Just look for it on YouTube, Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab, for more SWAC info, MEAC info, SIAC info, HBCUs. If you love HBCUs, follow Dr. Kenyatta Cavill, the Dean of HBCU Sports. Next up, AAC football, as AD and I touched on it. We were there in Arlington earlier this week, along with the Fifth Ward Wildcat, Jerry Lee Woodley Jr. Predictions from the AAC. 14 schools, 6 new schools. 7 of the 14 football programs have a new head coach this season. 7. First place prediction. returning champs, the reigning champs, defending champs, the Tulane Green Wave, head coach Willie Fritz. Barely beat out UTSA, the two-time defending champion from Conference USA. Picked second, SMU third, Memphis fourth, FAU and new head coach Tom Herman fifth, ECU sixth, North Texas 7, UAB in 8th, but got one first place vote, followed by Navy at 9, Temple 10, Tulsa 11, 12, the Rice Owls and coach Mike Bloomgren, followed by USF at 13, and bringing up the rear 14th, although Charlotte head coach Biff Pelogi, first-year head coach at Charlotte, he took offense. Go to the Twitter, go to the X account for them, or watch it on ESPN Plus, his media session. His session was short, but he wanted everyone to know. He pounded the podium. We'll be better than y'all think. Believe me, we got some bad dudes here. Great young men, high character guys, and we're gonna surprise some people. So he was offended that Charlotte was picked last. And so, as some coaches are, use that as bulletin board material. But it's all part of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover here on Lunch Break. Football content is available on Folks Talking Sports, part of the Houston Roundball Review umbrella. Got FTS, Let's Talk Houston Rockets, of course, here on the lunch break as well. And now, shifting gears, some folks tuning in, watching us on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Roku at BS3. Comment from head coach Kelvin Sampson. Men's basketball. The men's team is getting ready to go to Australia, mate. Australia next week for 10, 11 days. August 4th leaving. I think that's next Saturday. August 4th through 15th. Going to play 4 games in Australia. At least one of those games will be against the Australian national team. Yesterday after practice, Coach Sampson had a media session. I asked him if he had a choice or a chance to pick opponents based on style of play that would help his team, his Cougs team, prepare and get ready for the upcoming 23-24 season. Here is that clip from Coach Sampson. Coach, in terms of the opponents you're going to play in Australia, you get a chance to pick like the style of play you want to face to get better?
If I could pick it, I'd play their national team. This is the World Championship summer. Next summer is the Olympics. So I know we're going to play their national team one game. And we'll play them twice if they want to. We just practice for them. I mean, they're so much better than anybody in college. We're talking about the Giddy kid from Oklahoma City, Dyson Daniels from New Orleans. It'd be great to play them 4 times. I mean, that would be a great trip. It's how much better somebody that beat on you 4 times would help your team in the summer. That would be awesome. But I think we're going to play the Sydney Hawks, which is an NPL team. I think that's our first game on the 7th. But remember, we lose a day going over there, and we gain the day back to the time. So we leave on the 15th, and we get back on the 15th. We leave there on the 4th, and I think we get there on the 6th. So if we get there on the 6th, that means the very next day we're going to play. So we're going to play, I know for sure we're going to play the Sydney Hawks, the Australian national team as their Olympic team, and then the selected. I don't know who's on the team, but it doesn't matter. Who they have really doesn't matter. The style of play doesn't matter. I hope we don't see a lot of zones, and we don't work on zone offense because we don't. So if they do, those stuff out there. Syracuse zone, this is where they have to work on zone offense dance. So zones, we don't enough to have a zone offense. We just haven't put it in yet.
Comments from head coach Kelvin Sampson, Cougs men's basketball head coach, about after practice, yesterday's Wednesday's practice, about who the Cougs will play in this upcoming trip to Australia. The school, I think at some point Thursday, today, July 27th, we'll send out a press release with more details about the opponents Houston will face and hopefully how fans can watch the games via streaming. They're still ironing out the details of who they're going to play when, which team first, etc. And then if it'll be streamed, initially it was, I think, up to 3 of the 4 games would be streamed, and now it may be just 2 of the 4 will be streamed, but we'll find out hopefully later on today when UH Communications makes it official with a press release. Thank you for tuning in. I am KG Chris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review, and you are watching the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E and courtesy of the BS3 Network on Roku. If you missed it earlier, top of the show, played a clip of a segment from our Folks Talking Sports show that airs on Sundays at 6 p.m. Central on Folks Talk Sports on Twitter, as well as on YouTube at Houston Roundball Review. And in the segment in the clip, I mentioned that Colorado would return to the Big 12 by the end of July. The Big 12 chancellors, presidents announced, voted unanimously Wednesday night for CU to return to the Big 12. CU is going to have a Board of Regents meeting later today to discuss it, make it official. It's going to be a public meeting to make it official. So then we'll see what the Pac-12 does. Who they'll bring in, where they'll scramble, will they got to do something because they are a sinking ship. And let me say this for folks wondering or questioning, Chris, KG, who are your sources? How do you do this? It's good to meet people face to face. Okay, the Houston Roundball Review been around since 1994. I've survived. The Houston Roundball Review has survived these 30 years. Scraping by. A little bit here and there. A little bit of advertising here and there. Trying to do more with less over the years. I'm trying to do more with more. Give me a bigger budget. Imagine what I could do if I could travel more. Go to more games. Meet more people face to face. That's a goal. That's a dream still. To continue, keep hitting that rock. As Coach Sampson said about 2 months ago here on the lunch break, when he made a guest appearance on the lunch break and talked with me and colleagues Andy Yanez and Willie Gibson. Help me keep hitting that rock. One way to do that, order a mug. Order a Houston Roundball Review mug. Click on that shop button. It's below the video here posted on YouTube. Go to the website, HoustonRoundballReview.com, HoustonRoundballReview.com. Buy you some Houston Roundball Review merch, mugs, tank tops, t-shirts, even a tote bag. Yes, even a tote bag. A Houston Roundball Review tote bag. Links posted on HoustonRoundballReview.com. But specifically, to get the mug, to get this mug, click on the shop button below this video and order you a Houston Roundball Review mug. It should arrive in about 2 to 3 weeks. So thank you in advance for supporting the Houston Roundball Review and helping me to continue keep hitting that rock. But give me your thoughts. It's kind of quiet today. I'm wondering where folks are. If Tony M and Corey and other fans and Donna, where are y'all? Comments. Give me some comments. What are your thoughts on what the Pac-12 should do? Are you surprised that Colorado is returning to the Big 12? If you've been keeping up with it, the only folks apparently who were surprised were Pac-12 writers and the Pac-12 commissioner and other folks like that, because this is not a surprise. This is the big thing that Colorado was waiting to see before deciding to return to the Big 12 was the financials from the Pac-12 regarding the media deal. Would they be similar or better than what the Big 12's media rights deal will be? Oh, we kept hearing for 9 months, 12 months from the Pac-12. Very soon, in the near future, on and on and on, in the near future, I think the capper was last Friday at Pac-12 Media Day. Boy, when Pac-12 Commissioner George Kliavkoff said at Media Day, part of his opening monologue, that the Pac-12, that they have a media rights deal, but they aren't going to announce it today, that Friday, July 21st, because they don't want to steal from the attention for the football teams, the Pac-12 football teams. When Commissioner Kliavkoff was asked, further up, follow up, so are you saying that a deal is done and that you are just waiting to announce it? His response: you are reading too much into that. The man said himself that the Pac-12 has a deal, but it won't be announced Friday because they don't want to steal the thunder from the Pac-12 football teams. Yet minutes later, so you have a deal, Commissioner. That's what you're saying, right? We can safely say that the Pac-12 has a deal. Well, no, you're reading too much into that. Huh. All right. Colorado said, basically, we still haven't seen any numbers. Why are we going to wait any longer? We got a great idea of what the Big 12 is going to get us based on the pro rata deal that the Big 12 has with ESPN and Fox Sports. ESPN will pay media the Power 5 team, Commissioner Oresco, the Autonomy 5 schools, $20 million per year. And Fox will chip in the $11.7 million for the $31.7 million. So that is what Colorado says. Well, we know we're going to get that from the Big 12 if you go back. We still don't know what we're going to get from the Pac-12. So Wednesday, the 26th, July 26th, the Colorado board regents met once, I think then twice, and then scheduled another meeting for today, a public hearing to really make it official that they are going to leave the Pac-12 and return to the Big 12. There are reports that since Colorado joined the Pac-12, they had lost almost $70 million as members in the Pac-12 rather than staying in the Big 12. I think some reports are saying that Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, pushed for this. I'm not sure how much a head coach in his first year, regardless of how famous and popular he is and how big of a brand he is, how much sway, pull he had in this process. But Colorado is coming back to the Big 12. Deion, Coach Prime, I think he had a surgery on his toes and to improve the circulation in his toes on his left foot last Friday. That's why he missed media day, to improve the blood flow. So he's going to be coaching Colorado. The season opener for the Buffs this year is against TCU. So a future Big 12 matchup right there taking place to kick off the season for both teams on Fox, no less. So who's to say how much sway Coach Prime had in this decision? It probably didn't hurt. But CU, barring some last-minute change, Colorado is returning to the Big 12. How about that? A note just popped in my head because I forgot about it, but I want to mention this. The UH men's basketball team, we know, is going to Australia next month. Heck, next week, from August 4th through August 15th. I've heard that the UH women's basketball team is making plans to take an overseas trip next summer. There are a few destinations in mind. All details are still being finalized, hammered out. But yes, so it's good news that the Houston Cougars women's basketball team will be making an overseas trip next August. So kudos to Coach Huey and his staff and everyone involved to help make that happen for those young ladies to get the experience of traveling overseas and learning new culture if they haven't gone overseas. So look forward to that next year, next summer in 2024. I touched on this, what I'm about to pull up last week. It wasn't as detailed as I like, so I'm going to try to pull it up again. It's the schedules for Houston Cougars women's hoops, men's hoops, Rice women, and Rice men. Let's take a look at it. First up, I believe, is UH women. There we go. The Big 12 announced the schedule matrix for women's basketball last Thursday in the morning. And then later Thursday, they announced it for men's basketball. And then the American also announced the schedule matrix for both men's and women's also later Thursday, last Thursday, July 20th. But first things first, you see on the screen there as you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, X, Twitch, YouTube, and, of course, Roku, courtesy of the BS3 Network. Home and away, Cougs women's team faced these 5 teams twice. Once at home in Fertitta and once on the road. The ranking in parentheses is the NC evaluation tool ranking, NET. Baylor, Lady Bears, BYU, UCF, TCU, and Texas Tech. That's home and away. Baylor 31 net, BYU 109, UCF 148, TCU 131, Tech 75. Home only. Cincinnati 194, Iowa State 15, Oklahoma 38, and for the first time since 1998, the Texas Longhorns will face the Houston Cougars in women's basketball. Away, road games only for Big 12 for Houston, Kansas, K-State, Oklahoma State, and West Virginia. So you see those, that's the breakdown of who the women's team will play, UH women's team will play in Big 12 conference play. Next, men's basketball. See the net there for the Cougs? Net rankings for the opponents for the Big 12. Long story short for the Cougs in Big 12 men's basketball. 18 conference games. All 18 conference games will be either a quad 1 or quad 2 ranking. The highest ranking based on last season's numbers, final date for last season, BYU had a net ranking of 84. There are 363 teams in men's college basketball. BYU, new member to the Big 12, 84. Home and away opponents for the UH men's team: UCF, Cincinnati, Iowa State, Kansas, and Texas. So yes, Coach Kelvin Sampson and his Cougars will face Kansas twice and the Longhorns twice this upcoming season in Big 12 play. Home only, K-State, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, and West Virginia. Road only, Baylor, BYU, Oklahoma, and TCU. Schedule breakdown, home games, non-conference. Men's basketball, UH men's basketball has announced their non-conference schedule. Home games, it's not a bunch of world beaters, let's be honest. 7 of the 8 non-conference home games for UH men's basketball project as Q4 net ranking, 161 to 363. The only non-Q4 is a Q3, and that's Penn. Dates for the home games: November 6th against ULM, November 11th against A&M Corpus Christi, November 13th against Stetson, November 24th against Montana, December 6th against Rice. December 9th against Jackson State. December 21st against Texas State. And then December 30th against Penn. The one true road game for the Cougs men's team, December 1st at Xavier in Cincinnati. The Cougs have some neutral site games coming up on this part of this coming season schedule. They are participating in the Charleston Classic on November 16th, 17th, and 19th. Matchups to be determined, but the teams participating in the Charleston Classic include Dayton, LSU, North Texas, St. John's, Towson, Utah, and Wake Forest. The Cougs will face Texas A&M in the H-Town Showdown doubleheader Saturday, December 16th. LSU and Texas are the other matchup as part of the H-Town Showdown doubleheader. Rice. It's Rice men's basketball. Let's see. Rice men's basketball is right. Rice men. Let me see. Yes, Rice men's basketball. Home and away. I'm disappointed from a media perspective. They only get to face Memphis once, and that's on the road, and FAU once and at home. But home and away. Charlotte, USF, Temple, UTSA, and Tulsa. Home only. ECU, FAU, North Texas, and SMU. Road only. UAB, Memphis, Tulane, and Wichita State. Rice women. Home and away. ECU, Memphis, SMU, USF, the best team in the women's basketball in the conference, and Tulsa. Home only. Charlotte, North Texas, Temple, Wichita State. Road only. UAB, FAU, Tulane, and UTSA. Let's see the last slide. There you go. That's right. The non-conference schedule for Rice women's has been announced. Home game. Start the season. November 6th against Houston Christian. November 16th, Georgia Tech from the ACC. The 19th November, St. Mary's of California that's the West Coast Conference. November 29th, Rice Women's Hoops hosts Texas Southern. December 9th, Gonzaga comes to Tudor Fieldhouse. December 16th, Rice hosts Prairie View. So Rice women's basketball faces HCU at home, TSU at home, and Prairie View at home as part of their non-conference schedule. Road games, Abilene Christian on November 9th, November 12th, TCU, November 25th, Stephen F. Austin, December 2nd, A&M Corpus Christi, and then December 20th, Rice goes to Fertitta Center to face the Houston Cougars. So Rice women's basketball faces HCU, TSU, Prairie View, and Houston as part of their non-conference schedule for the 23-24 season. So kind of get a H-Town City Classic for women's basketball. Thank you, Coach Edmonds, for making that happen. My dream for that on the men's side, I think, is dead and buried. And whatever happened, might get one or two matchups on the men's side, but nothing like that detailed as Rice faces everybody in town for women's basketball. So salute to them. Everybody, you're watching the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E. This is Throwback Thursday edition of The Lunch Break. I am KG Chris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. Thank you for watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, X, and of course on Roku. Yes, on Roku via the BS3 network. If you are interested in advertising, put that up there right there. Advertise your ad right there. Contact me. Go to the website, HoustonRoundballReview.com. Click on the link. Email me at kgardner@thehrr.com for more info on how to advertise part of the lunch break takeover, the Roundball Review takeover of the lunch break, as well as on my other live stream shows like Folks Talking Sports and Let's Talk Houston Rockets. So you can make that happen and help me continue hitting that rock by going to Big 12 Football Media Day, the American Athletic Conference Football Media Day, and the upcoming basketball media days for the American and the Big 12 taking place in October. Already making plans to attend both of those. We got the info and the dates for both of those. Got the dates for the American as we were leaving Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? All days run together this week from the American Football Media Day. And I already was told the dates for the Big 12 basketball tip-off. The first year for the Houston Cougars men's team to be in the Big 12. Got to attend Big 12 Media Day for that. No question. Ben, how you doing? Thank you. What's up with you? Thank you very much for the platform to provide the lunch break via the BS3 network on Roku. Appreciate it. As always, thank you for your support. Miss seeing you in at Big 12 Football Media Day, but I heard your reasons for that were sound. I hope you enjoyed it. Do what you got to do, Ben. So, hey, things happen. Do what you got to do. Thank you for not avoiding your duty. But as always, I really appreciate taking time, talking with the fans, providing content, insight here on the lunch break on the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the lunch break, powered by JM&E and courtesy of the BS3 network on Roku. But the lunch break is streaming live on Facebook, on Twitch, on YouTube, on Roku, and on X, or is it Twitter, or whatever it is. But in the final moments, reminder, if you missed it earlier, July 16th, I discussed on Folks Talking Sports that Colorado would return to the Big 12. July 16th. One of the things I heard, well, a couple of things I heard, and this is for Joe Mendez, Tony M as well, as folks watching us on Twitter and on YouTube at Houston Roundball Review. All signs point to Colorado joining the Big 12. That has not changed. I was told that weeks ago. Heard it again on Wednesday that Colorado is going to join the Big 12. Timetable could be as soon as the end of this month that Colorado will return. Well, could I say return to the Big 12? I guess you want to say, since they were part of it, before they left to go to the Pac-12. But it sounds like they will be coming back to the Big 12. And then we'll see who comes with them. That's less certain. And that is the issue. That is the question. Will it be Arizona joining Colorado in the move to the Big 12? Would it be UConn? That seems less likely. UConn would really divide up the pie because they will not receive a pro rata deal because they are not an A5 Autonomy 5 school. They are a G5 school. So they'll receive less money, and that'll be a split of the pie. But they bring in the Northeast market, the New York market, and, of course, tremendous men's and women's basketball. If it's not Arizona, could be a massive curveball and be Oregon. Oregon, everybody thought was going to the Big Ten. Well, it doesn't sound like the Big Ten is going to invite Oregon or Washington anytime soon. But that might change. But if it's Oregon, it'd be a surprise, but in a sense it wouldn't be because Oregon would truly be the Pacific time zone team that Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark wants to make the conference coast to coast because Colorado is in the Mountain West time zone. It's the Mountain time zone like BYU. So that 3 time zones, Mountain, Central, and East, no Pacific time zone just yet. But if Oregon surprises some people and makes a move, then you got Pacific, Mountain, Central, and Eastern time zone. And I think they'd be the first conference to have all 4 time zones for media rights deals. So that'd be a big deal, a big surprise. But I have not heard anything regarding Oregon. All my discussions and rumors were centered around Colorado joining the Big 12, and that is going to happen. Barring some last minute change, Colorado is coming back to the Big 12, and that means Coach Prime, as long as he's healthy, next season, the 2024 football season, Coach Prime will be in the Big 12. And man, can you see and visualize the recruiting battles Colorado, Coach Prime in Texas and Florida, saying we're in the Big 12 now. Fellas, come join us. That's going to be a lot of fun. Very competitive. Won't be boring. No telling how long Coach Prime will be at Colorado. Folks think he might be picked up by a bigger program eventually, soon, 2-3 years, whatever. But at least 1 year he will be in the Big 12. That's next year. Of course, assuming his health still is good. And I wish him health and recovery regarding his issues with the blood clots and blood flow problems he has had. And hopefully they were corrected last Friday. Wrapping it up here on the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E. I am KG Chris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review. You have been watching Throwback Thursday of the Lunch Break, streaming live on Roku, courtesy of the BS3 Network, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, X, and Twitch. Thank you for everyone for your time. Thank you to AD Moore from the AdMax Corner, giving me the Texans update from football practice earlier in the show. Doing a lot of things here on Lunch Break. More to continue, more coming up in the future. Join me this coming Sunday on Folks Talking Sports with Willie Gibson and Andy Yanez. Until then, everyone take care. Going to close it out as usual. Message from Miss Sybil Wilkes. The Houston Roundball Review. Remember this. Since 1994, the Houston Roundball Review. Local name, global perspective. Everybody take care. Peace.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Thursday, July 27, 2023. Number 1, Donald Trump's former attorney, Rudy Giuliani, admitted he made false statements about 2 women who worked the 2020 election in the state of Georgia. The admission was entered in a lawsuit filed by Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss. The black women stated their lives were turned upside down when the Trump ally, as well as conspiracy theorists, made false allegations against them. Number 2, President Joe Biden selected Shawanza Goff, a seasoned congressional aide and former key liaison to the House, as the new Director of Legislative Affairs. This historic appointment makes Goff the first black woman to hold the crucial position of the White House's chief emissary to Capitol Hill. Ms. Goff's task will be to safeguard the Biden agenda while managing relations with the confrontational House Republican Conference, known for having divergent priorities. Number 3, the severity of risk factors for heart disease, diabetes, and stroke appears to increase more rapidly in the years leading up to menopause, especially among African American women. That's according to a new study. The risk factors, together known as metabolic syndrome, includes a large waistline, high triglyceride or blood fat levels, low HDL, good cholesterol levels, high blood pressure, and high blood sugar when fasting. Researchers analyzed the records of 1,470 black and white women in the Arterial Sclerosis Risk in Community Study, a national study of the causes and health effects of hardening of the arteries. Number 4, Patrick Braxton, a 57-year-old black man, was elected mayor of New Bern, Alabama in 2020. Yay! However, Mr. Braxton, along with people he wanted to name to the city council, has filed a civil rights lawsuit that claims the minority white residents of New Bern refused to accept the outcome. Hayward Stokes III, the acting mayor of New Bern, allegedly worked with acting town council members to hold a special election where he was reappointed to the mayoral seat just to keep Mr. Braxton from taking office. Read the full story in the What You Need to Know newsletter. Number 5, the What You Need to Know newsletter welcomes back Ms. Astrology. She says that it's Leo season, y'all. Yeah, that would be me. And while Leo is a sign of ego, pride, self-expression, playfulness, and drama, and highly influences our will, this Leo season is a little bit different. During this time, it would serve us best to really re-examine, rethink, and refocus all the retrograde rewords on our relationships and how they encourage or discourage us to freely express ourselves. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Asking for help could be the best gift you can ever give to yourself. All right, there you go. Join me today, live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, with mental health and wellness contributor Aprilette Russell and Ms. Astrology, as we discuss today's top headlines and more. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, the American Heart Association and Black Health Matters. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.